Hey, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about my decision to go with the Pioneer underbench air conditioner slash heat pump. One of the main reasons that I chose this particular air conditioner slash heat pump is because I always have a canoe on the top of my van. The other half of the roof of the van is covered with 2 solar panels and a max air fan. So I'm going to explain further in the video. I hope you join me. I hope you subscribe. And I'm going to be having many more videos about what I did to this van, how I did it, and all the reasons why I did it. Thanks a lot for joining me. This is going to be an install video of the new Pioneer underbench heat pump slash air conditioner. It's a 10,000 BTU unit, 115 volts, and it has a 5-year warranty. The main reason that I chose this unit is because I'm installing it on a 2023 ProMaster van that I'm converting into a camper. And I have solar panels on the top of the roof and always carry a canoe. So the top of the roof, I had limited space for a traditional air conditioning unit. So far, I'm pretty happy with the unit right out of the box. It seems to be a really well-constructed unit. These are the drain pipes. They give you 2. You only need 1. They go out to they attach to the base of the unit and go out the bottom of the van. These are some of the straps. They supply 2 straps that will secure it to the floor. That's the thermostat wire. And that's the hardware that will hold the straps around the unit to the floor. Again, everything so far seems to be pretty well made, pretty well constructed. I'm pretty happy with everything so far. This is the template they supply that you will use to shift around the inside of the van to find the exact location to avoid any framing, any gas lines, any wires. This is the side of the unit. You'll see the 3 ports there on the side that again, this is very well constructed. It's nothing flimsy so far. That's the drain pipe that will go to the base of the floor. The other 2 are intake and the outtake that blows the air out. And again, these are the ports on the side that you can either use the side ports or the rear ports depending on how you have your van constructed. That's where the venting that is sold separately. Venting will attach to those ports, and you can direct it to any location inside of the van. This is the intake that's always on the inside of the van. It comes with a pretty well constructed screen that you can take and wash out, rinse out with a hose. It's a little magnetic that holds it on there. The electric cord is plenty long enough to attach to where you will be putting your electrical in. Here I'm using the template to make a rigid cardboard cutout. This way I could go to the base of the van and put it up underneath the van to where to make sure I'm going to be missing framing, gas lines, wires, anything that would be in the way. I think that's a good way to proceed with this. Just cutting out the template here. And again, it's nice and rigid. I used it to go underneath the van, move around different locations to find the best spot where this will be sitting. So after I played around with this underneath to find out the best location, I thought the best idea was to drill a hole underneath in a known area where it's not going to hit any bad spots, either on top or below. Now I've taken the template and I've brought it to the top after I've already drilled a hole through. So now I'm going to play around and figure out the best spot for this to make sure it's going to be underneath my cabinets and in the exact position where I'm going to need it to do further construction inside of the van. So I'm just marking out some of the areas that I'm going to use a square to make some straight lines with a Sharpie. And we're going to take a razor blade to cut some of this vinyl sheet flooring to make a nice, neat cut. This is one of the most important parts of the install of this unit. So you're going to really want to take enough time to use that rigid cardboard underneath the van. You're going to move it around several times. You got a spare tire, you got framing, you got cross members, you got gas lines, you got wires. So it's important to take your time here. Drill a couple of pilot holes, and with those pilot holes, you're going to stick a small wire down there and take measurements off those wires. I added little pieces of painter's tape. This is a very time-consuming part of it. This is probably the most time-consuming part of the job, is finding the exact location where this unit is going to sit. Now that we found the exact location of where this unit's going to sit, we're ready to cut out the sheet flooring using a razor blade, just so when we use the saw to go through it, it doesn't mess up any of the sheet flooring. This does a nice, neat job. I should have added this earlier, but underneath the sheet flooring is a 3/4 inch plywood, as well as a 3/4 inch rigid insulation floor. So I've used the rigid saw to cut out the flooring and the insulation, and now I'm going to put the template on, make sure everything lines up again, and I'm going to use the template to drill the drain hole. So now we are ready to clean everything up. You want to have a nice clean surface to do your test fitting. And now we're dropping the unit into place, and it fits perfectly. Now the next step is to cut the metal flooring out of the van. What I've decided to do here, instead of just cutting an entire sheet out, I've cut it out in sections, and this way I folded each section over, and that just gave me an added protection for underneath the van from any of the rocks or debris coming up and hitting the base of the unit. I think that's a good idea, and it's a no-brainer because you have the sheet metal there. It's a very rigid, heavy-duty metal on the flooring, and it makes a nice. I painted it black, so it makes it. It just gives it added protection. Now here I'm painting the inside of the unit. I've also added a silicone in any of the seams between the sheet flooring and the insulation and the wood, so it's nicely protected. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you're interested in this Pioneer unit, I'll add a link to the website where you can purchase it in the description below. And please subscribe, as I'll be uploading the second half of this install video within the next couple of weeks. Thank you.